Started with a number one, hey, how the power get this long, hey, cause I eat the gum, see the run when I hit that gun, hey, sailing and taking the base from my cruise on the move as we pillage the grand line, looting the treasure we can't find, I'm blowing up like a landmine, going gear second, I reckon that I'm a weapon, I'm wrecking up those who threaten and messing with my own brethren, stay repping, look where I'm heading, no question, the youngers sweating, I'm betting in words, I'm yelling, the king and there's no forgetting,
I'll jump the competition, really there's no contest, channel's future then and most of y'all ain't even bombed yet, it's nonsense. Pro exams completed as a child. Hisoka, I think these clowns are living in denial. So don't make me power up, I'll call the thunder at my right hand. If you want the strongest shonen, then you call the right man. They might stand, treat you all like Pichu, it won't take long. Name is gone, and this time I'ma make sure that you stay gone.
Oh, better believe it's Naruto. Who's the best hero? All of you know my legacy is happening. I got a type of running named after me where you're slow. Can't keep up with my chakra flow, except Tanada. I'm her Hokage. All I did was color and I told her to come over cause my parents are not home. Out of these ninjas, you can watch my dub. Even though I feel it was a far above. When it comes to Boruto, why y'all giving up like I did with sipping on Sakura? Killer bees rapping, but I get the encore with the power that I bring. I don't really want yours cause I came from a swing. Everybody shun more, now you're looking at the king of this jump force.
I'm a master Yubi, practice newbie, that's a doozy. But I'm a Yugi, puzzled in summer like a hadron tunnel cause never got atom through me. Camp in the match, see fans form, no matter what hands drawn. I'm kicking up dust metal tanks in land form. When we do there's sandstorms. Cards are flipping, I need an answer quick and I might find my dark magician. If I wish and believe hard enough in the heart that's in them. I see settles free, I pull the fifth part of XOD. I guess it all came to a head so clear, think your deck's gonna get XOD, yeah.
Welcome to the magic, it's a tale that's tragic, filled with a pain that's harder than plastic, especially when you discover you don't have it. When I started, I was less than amazing, but now that I've been chosen by the grimoire, I'm rising to the occasion in a blazing flame of magic. Ain't no hocus pocus and abracadabra, not a wizard you joke with. It's not Gandalf the Grey, but you shall not pass hopeless. Better be ferocious, was the poorest orphan living in darkness, but now that I'm focused, I be thanking all my hardships.
Hitting back with that Bankai. Got that power like it came out of the Don guy. Pops passed the torch, now I'm the fam's Don guy. Think you Eisen, but you looking like that Don guy. Y'all like Soifon, your ass barely sting. My boss gets a potential, got that masterful swing. They say it ain't over till the fat lady sings, but you'll know it's really over when that black lady sings.
Max speed, blow up the moon, and now we're making these children write essays. Coming with tentacles, teach you a lesson and why you don't mess with the sensei. I amaze, used to be the reaper, now I run this class. I can turn a loser to assassin, do it real fast.
I think I've been out of my head, gift was given, made some poor decisions that I wish I didn't, but I do it again, feeling different. I was on a mission to achieve my vision with a page and a pen. Sit and listen to the words I've written, I ain't even finished till I see that they're dead. Don't even try to pretend, there's no malicious intent. Stay in my thoughts, keep to the morals of God, and kill everyone who was not, never get caught. Tell every criminal's rot, to consider me as a god. Whatever costs, that's how I excel, cannot be stopped even if I fell. I'm taking them off, you gotta tell, I gave up a lot to give you this L.
Yeah, here comes Sonata. When I'm on the go, the enemy has got the guard up. Never gonna fall off, bet I'm gonna pop up. Way sure, but I'm picking pictures like a sauna. Hot like a sauna, there's ball of fire to know nada. But I'm gonna chase desire to go farther. Every jump would take me higher, they put walls up, so I had to learn to fly. Putting up points, breaking into climbing the way. Best decoy, got a little something to say to anyone that doubts that I'm here to stay. When the gal want goal, let's play the game. Underestimated, I'm the ace. You just wait, when I spike it past the net, you might take it to the face.
Coming in with 100% of me. I got you all trembling. Oh, just for the flick of a finger. Put you back where you're supposed to be. I'm not holding back. I got you so calculated. I'm one step ahead. One for all gonna be demonstrated. I got it good, nothing better, and you should know. Started at the bottom, but I made it to the top. So step aside, I'm climbing to great heights with all my by my side, repping UA with pride. Oh.
Giving you the finger spirit gun, send you on the boat on, then you done. Hit you with a stick gun, didn't need a grip when I'm pulling from the hip, then click.
Because I'm locked, loaded, the clip is ready to go. Got a shotgun in my hand that's about to blow.
Cause I'm hitting you quick fast, giving you whiplash, wearing these spirit cuffs. You could be human or demon, cause honestly, I just don't give a fuck. If you're looking for the best, just know there's no other. Cause I'm flexing out here like I'm the youngest Agora brother.
They call me Gintoki, slim not stocky, let me show and jump on your leg in the body. Odd job Gin, don't mess with my posse, if you touch my hair then you will be sorry. Nah, bogey, nani kone, I just say nah, cause you're way too sloppy, got a silver soul. Shiro Yasha, swing my sword and a manto scatter. Gintama, not Kintama, to Shinpachi, we need money. If cat good old cat sorta bring more trouble, we keep running. Pay rent, that's a waste of time, that weather girl I will make her mine. You can beat me up and that's fair and fine, but if you hurt my friends, I'm prepared to die.
Look,
slaying demons, that's what we do. If you filled with evil, then my blade is highly lethal. If you coming at my people, pray to God I never meet you. Ever mess with Nez, you can't go when I see you. I've grown stronger from that faithful day they found me. I train hard to hold my skills, the progression's so astounding. My style like breathing water, that mean you can never drown me. Whirlpool, that mean I'm slicing everything around me.
EMMA 63194, listen what I gotta say. The others walk scenes, now we gotta run away. Don't you talk adults out of the anime. You could break every bone in my body, I won't falter. And if the plan fails, the idea simply alters. These demons scheming, but they ain't the only monsters. I combine IQ, break the safe, strength in numbers. Now we woken from the slumber, never ending perfect summers. Across the farm, you can't help but wonder.
See, I'm the anime Raekwon, the chef, baby, stay calm. You can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen, get a day job. Word, and the finale superb. I take a sec, put on my band, and I'll be happy to serve. So ma, tell me what you like, and I can hook it up. Your boy got them recipes, the best couldn't cook it up. And she gon' bust from the taste of my meat. Chef boy, are these boys always cooking up heat.
It's my go, they call me Shintaro. Don't get me mad, I'ma go fast, all the way jazz, you go through silos. Got that drip from Cairo, girls will sip my silhouette. I don't think it's a typo, fight my platinum psycho, none of y'all is a threat. What you gotta say in your breath, better speak with a bigger chest. Now you line down with my pet, while he keep his on your neck. All types of disrespect, what you expect, go against a vet. Better get your jet, wanna get swept through the complex, now who is next?
Bubble making the first stare, got me the master of nose hair. Look at the hair on the heads of these anime characters, brother, it's no fair. But I'm better than these guys, don't you understand? I came second place at screaming face to face with desk fans. Afro is full of surprises, look at my powers immense, leaving you screaming.
Bobo, that makes no sense.
Hunting hair, Hunter Saitama, I'm coming for you. Don't batch it better, Super Saiyan, God and go.
Oh, they went and called Kakarot, had to be danger. Leave them flat-footed like they in the gravity chamber. I'm just looking for a challenge, can you battle me, stranger? Shonen legend in the saddle when the power is major. Level up on the track flow, ultra instinct. Bye, fusion deserts always in sync. Wink, and they wonder why I'm last on the song. Cause when all of y'all were talking, I just formed a spirit bomb.
Shadow like Pico and Earthquake, the body ever with my work rate. These cursed blades are dooming you all to a worse fate. Surprise you like a birthday, I hurt, maim, need first aid. You want the shaft, then I guess I'm taking you to third base. Beast with my weapon strength immense like gorillas. Cut down in a second, one-man army gorilla. Scary, no thriller, I'm stronger than imagine. Kill the beat but turn around and be like nothing happened.
You don't want it with the prince. Put you on your knees, man, there's levels to the shit, that's real. Bunch of Mr. Satans in this bitch. Killer petty rapper, bring him back to hold the tip. Call that Dragon Balls. Focus mind like I'm overdosed on Adderall. Royal blood, turn the greatest into catalogs. They can call me number 2. I create the greatest, tell me who the fuck are you?
Yeah, I'm cut from a different fabric. It's shocking when you spot him, I was bred for the static. It's tragic, but it happened. I'm bred to be a savage. Y'all yapping? Think you got heart, then stare at it. Know it's Godspeed, how I move when I smack you. Lose your head if you thinking I'm the one to talk back to. Assassin, how I move, kill you without a trace. Ain't talking yo-yos when I string rounds to your face.
Brigeki with my lyrics and obelisk in my physics. I'm a monster reborn and I'm here with a vengeance. And then I gentle on these bitches cause I don't fall for these thirst traps. Write it and I spit it. Ain't no need for these rehearsed raps. Blue Eyes 3 has the smirk of a crook. Y'all motherfuckers just tunes cause you go by the book. Pot of greed, make money till I overdose. I kill my friends just to kill you. Call me King Barbaros.
Knock you down harder than my serve, make my hands sore. Had to turn, now it's back to me, that's a chance ball. A whole power split second, pick an option. The control tower that you call like Houston if you have a problem. Look at the wrist, I better get hit. I tend to get pissed if ever they miss. Can't keep up with me, just go beast up, don't quit. Orange black combo, shorty flies when I let him jump. Kageyama shitting on the mic, that's a set of dumb.
Freeze! Who wants to dance with the Ice Queen? I go from 100 to absolute 0 ice stream. Is that the scoreboard or temperature? To the 1,000, your blood warm here, here's the finisher. Big things come in small packages. They think that I'm fun size till I open this third eye, this Genkai. banish your soul from society. Leave your body in 13 divisions for trying me.
It's Bakugo, my pressure got the ops on the ropes. Rest in peace to the goat, but I'm popping the smoke. I'm just trying to make a name, ain't no time to be slow. Villains say they beating me, need to stop with the jokes. Since my rival got chosen, I'm not losing focus. Deku got me heated, don't get caught in the explosion. All I need is power and strength. I got a vision and I never needed help. I'ma do it myself.
Heyo! Hello, Fantastics. It's Mr. Clantastic, and I am here with a Kamigawa Neon Dynasty set review here on MTG Arena. Well, no, I always say that. I'm always on MTG Arena, but this is just a general video here going over the cards for the limited format, primarily draft. So, one moment. Boom. So, I've already covered the white cards, mono white spells, and the mono blue spells. So now I'm going to be moving over into the mono black spells. So this is going to be just general thoughts and ideas on the cards. You know, haven't really developed my rating system yet, but I am going to be reading through each card. I've already discussed like the different mechanics and kind of like the notable themes that they have going on. Like, you know, the mechanics are ninjutsu, channel, what was the other? Oh, and reconfigure. There's also sagas in the set, equipment, like, well, artifacts like vehicles and whatnot. And a little like sub themes like solo attacking and samurai warrior. So let's get right into it. First we have Nashi Moon Sage's Scion. It's a 3 mana, 1 generic, 2 black, legendary creature rat ninja with ninjutsu for 3 generic and a black. Whenever Nashi the Moon Sage Scion deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of each player's library. Until end of turn, you may play one of those cards. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. So, I think the card's cool, right? Like, if you're already going ninjutsu or whatnot, great. I kind of like the ninjutsu ability, well, the ninjutsu costs that are cheaper than the cost of the spell, but you can't always get that. Now, the ability to exile the top card of each player's library, like that's including yours, and you can play those spells basically for free. You're, you know, spending life. It's really, really powerful. But it could hurt you in the long run too if you're not, you know, managing your resources appropriately. I would definitely run this spell, especially, you know, early format, you know, still trying to learn things and see how things are gonna go. But do I think it's the best mythic I've covered so far? No. You know, clearly these two walkers here, I feel in white and blue, we have the Wandering Emperor and Tezzeret Betrayer of Flesh. I feel like they outshine Nashi currently. I don't think we got a blue walker in the set, so maybe that's reason to kind of lean towards white blue because they do have the walkers. But Nashi's great. You're going to run it in your rogue strat all day. Next we have Junji the Midnight Sky, a 5 mana, 3 generic, 2 black, legendary creature dragon spirit with flying menace. When Junji the Midnight Sky dies, choose 1. Each opponent discards 2 cards and loses 2 life, or put target non-dragon creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. You lose 2 life. Wow. So, I don't necessarily like the discard 2 cards and lose 2 life. I feel like by the time they're able to kill Junji, they're not really going to have resources in hand anyways. You know, now the lose 2 life part, maybe, just maybe it matters. Now the put target non-dragon creature card from a graveyard into the battlefield under your control, you lose 2 life. I think that's the, well, I mean, in addition to the Flying Menace 5/5 for 5, you know, that's all beautiful. I love this card. Is it the best so far out of the dragons? Like the ability is kind of no, it's not similar. Like this is gonna bring you something back from any graveyard and put it under your control. I think that's really good. Better upside than anything else so far. Maybe the blue one. The mill 6 cards get 2 instants or sorcery or return any target non-land permanent with mana value 6 or less to the owner's hand. Maybe that's something too. But if you're going rogues, I mean, or blue-black anyways, either one is going to be great. They might be outshining AO. I think these two are already outshining AO. And I think they're in competition with each other at the moment. Next we have Blade of the Oni. It is a 2 mana, 1 generic and a black, artifact creature, equipment, demon. Ooh-wee. Has menace. Equipped creature has base power and toughness 5/5, has menace, and is a black demon in addition to its other colors. Great. You know, I get this. I'll slap it on my flyer. Base power. My 1/1 flyer has base power 5/5, and it becomes a menace creature. What? Then it has reconfigured so I can move it where I need to move it to? Is this like just a demon sword? Is that what's going on here? Yeah, it's essentially a demon sword. I'm looking. This is my Zoro sword. Someone needs to do an alt art with Zoro with that Oni card. That would be really cool. Next we have Invoke Despair. So as you see across here, the 5-drop sorceries. 5-drop sorceries, 4 of 1 color and a generic, and they're all invokes. So Invoke Despair, 5 mana, 1 generic, 4 black sorcery. Target opponent sacks a creature. If they can't, they lose 2 life and you draw a card. Then repeat this process for an enchantment and a planeswalker. So there's the high chance that they will have tokens out invalidating the ability that they sack a creature, especially at 5 mana. They're probably going to have multiple creatures to sack. You know, you could have been killing their things, but I think this is pretty tough. You know, you might just be popping off a 1/1 for 5 mana. Then they lose, you know, if they don't have creatures on the board, for instance, they lose 2 life and draw a card. So for 5 mana, they lose 2 life and draw a card. You repeat this process for an enchantment and a walker. So for 5 mana, you get to draw 2 cards, make them lose 2 life, potentially draw. This is all, you got to remember, this is all for limited that I'm thinking about this. You know, if you have your enchantment and your planeswalker, you get to do this 3 times. I think that's where the value lies. If you get to pop Invoke Despair off, I think it goes from being like to okay. So right now I'm kind of ordering, I'm feeling like it's Invoke Justice at the top. I think it's just the best so far, and then Invoke Despair here, and then Invoke the Winds. But Invoke Despair kind of moves up to the number 1 for the so far for me. If you can get it to pop off 2 to 3 times. So I think that's important to keep in mind. Next we have March of Wretched Sorrow, X and a black. So it looks like we have a sequence of X and a specific color instance. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may exile any number of black cards from your hand. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each card exiled this way. March of Wretched Sorrow deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker, and you gain X life. Okay, so, I mean, why am I dealing damage in black instead of exiling X amount of creatures or destroying X amount of creatures? I think that's interesting. They did that specific because black's not really normally dealing damage. Black is typically destroying or exiling or something. So I don't know. I think this is fine. You know, you'll run it for your removal. Maybe you get to get it back somehow. haven't seen a lot of ways to get your instants and sorceries back. I've seen more ways, I believe, to get permanents back, like your enchantments and artifacts. So that's important to keep in mind. Next, we have Soul Transfer. It's 3 mana, 1 generic, 2 black sorcery. Choose one. If you control an artifact and an enchantment, as you cast this spell, you may choose both. Exile target creature or planeswalker, or return target creature or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. Serviceable for 3. You know, I'm exiling target creature or planeswalker. Actually, that's really good for 3 mana. And then if I happen to have an artifact and an enchantment, I can get 2 abilities. The second ability, I get a creature or walker from the graveyard back to my hand. All right, I'm gonna run this all day. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna run this all day. Very reliable. Wish it was instant speed, but you get what you get. Next, we have Tribute to Hirobi. It's a 2 mana, 1 generic, and a black. The first 2 chapters, each opponent creates a 1/1 black rat rogue creature token. Then you exile the saga, and then you bring it back. Echo of Death's Wail, flying in haste. When Echo of Death's Wail enters the battlefield, gain control of all rat tokens. Whenever Echo of Death's Wail attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. This is interesting. So when I first saw this card, I was like, this is unplayable. That's kind of how I felt. I was like, this is totally unplayable. Why would I want to give them 2 turns to give them rat tokens? Then that gives them ability to sack them off to do things, or it invalidates my attacks potentially. But Echo of Death's Wail might be the upside that's worth it. Flying, haste, you gain control of all rat tokens, and you get to sack any other creature, draw a card. I have not seen very reliable ways to take control of creatures this format or this set. I often say format and set. I mix them up. My mistake. But if you happen to get it, this would be a great way to get value off of that. And whenever you sack a creature, it could be a little garbage creature. You draw a card. I think that's mad value. Look at that artwork, that alt art. I think that's amazing. I'm going to definitely run Tribute to Hirobi. Do I think it's sketchy? Definitely. Do I think it has some high upside? Yes. Next we have Biting Palm Ninja. It's a 3 mana, 2 generic, and a black. Creature, human, ninja with ninjutsu. Look at that art, right? Ooh, what's that dude from Naruto with the bomb hands? I always forget his name. But anyways, has ninjutsu 3, so the same mana cost as the initial cost. Biting Palm Ninja enters battlefield with a menace counter on it, modified. Whenever Biting Palm Ninja deals combat damage to a player, you may remove a menace counter from it. When you do, that player reveals their hand and you choose a non-land card from it. Exile that card. Ooh, wee. Okay. So a 3/3 that's going to let you get a visual on their hand and exile their best coming up spell. Wonderful. Like I already kind of knew ninjutsu was gonna be looking powerful. Like blue-black, I think is gonna be. I would assume what a lot of people gravitate towards. You have flash creatures with specific abilities and just there's so much versatility to it. But I also think there's something to the reconfigure. I do believe that reconfigure can just slide right into a ninjutsu strat, no problem. So that's kind of what I'm seeing being really potent so far, but let's continue. Next we have Tatsunari Toad Rider, a 3 mana, 2 generic, and a black. Legendary creature, human, ninja. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, if you don't control a creature named Kimi, create Kimi, a legendary 3/3 black and green frog creature token with. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Ah, loving it. It has pay 1 mana and a generic blue or green. No, pay a generic in blue or green. Tatsunari Toad Rider and target frog you control can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with flying or reach. It's a 3/3. I love it. I guess it's kind of suggesting. Actually, no. It just goes into the ninjutsu strategy with the second ability. Yeah, it has green, so maybe black green has something going on there. Maybe that's a suggestion. Like, hey, you know, maybe you pair black with green a little bit, but I'll run this all day just for the fact of getting that value. And it also kind of opens you up to like maybe like black green enchantments or even black white enchantments or aristocrats type deal. Not aristocrats, but is aristocrats just gaining life, losing life, or do the creatures have to be involved? I'll look that up. Next we have Makotai Soul Ripper, 2 mana, 1 and a generic and a black artifact vehicle. I wish they would have gave more vehicles reconfigure, but yeah, like they could have printed like I wish they had reconfigure or something similar so that I could have the same versatility that I get with the creatures with my vehicles. But anyways, whenever Makotai Soul Ripper attacks, you may sacrifice another artifact or creature. If you do, put a 1/1 +1/1 a +1/+1 counter on Makotai Soul Ripper. It gains menace until end of turn. You crew for 2. It's a 4/3. I don't know. I have to sack another artifact or creature to get the ability. I don't know. I mean, I get to modify it. And it gains menace, but it's only a 4/3. I haven't been overly impressed with even like when I brought up Mindlink Mech and well, yeah, this is nice, but this has reconfigure and it's not a vehicle. I brought up the vehicles earlier. It's just like here, Imperial Recovery Unit. So far, these uncommon vehicles or these higher up rarity vehicles they're not very impressive to me. So let me know what you think about them. Honestly, I just wouldn't get excited if I saw it. I would see this card and instantly look at the rest of the pack like, okay, does anything rank above it? Next we have Hide Suju, Devouring Chaos, a 4 mana, 3 generic and a black, legendary creature, ogre demon. It has pay a black, sacrifice a creature, scry 2, or pay 2 and a red, tap, exile top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you exile a non-land card this way, Hide Sugu, Devouring Chaos deals damage equal to the exile card's mana value to any target. Wow, it's a 4/4. Gee whiz. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, what? Just whenever you exile a non-land card this way, you deal damage? Great, yes. Like, I want to see more abilities where I could steal my opponent's things. We haven't gotten the red yet. That's typically where it is. I haven't seen it. This is definitely suggesting a red-black strat, like red-black sacrifice, but I don't think we have enough ways to steal things. I just don't. We'll see, but Haisugu looks amazing. Next, we have Go Shintai of Hidden Cruelty, a 3 generic and a black legendary enchantment creature. Shrine with Death Touch. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 1. When you do, destroy target creatures with toughness X or less, where X is the number of shrines you control. It's a 2/2. I mean, it's cool. It has Death Touch, which I think is relevant. Like, of all the abilities, right? You have Go Shintai of Lost Wisdom and Go Shintai of Shared Purpose. The additional ability is kind of irrelevant. I got Vigilance on my 1/3. Meh. I got Flying on my 0/4. Might as well give it reach. Meh. Death Touch on my 2/2 is pretty solid. I can swing in with it. I can block with it. And then at the beginning of my end step, I can pay 1. If they have a creature with toughness 1 or less, I'm eating those up. So far, Go Shintai of Hidden Cruelty is looking to be the best of the Shrine Suite. And I think if you're playing multicolors and if you can get the shrines, like say you're running blue-black rogues, if you get the black shrine and the blue shrine, why not run them? You'll get more value out of it. If you're running 3 colors, if you can put all 3 shrines in the build, why not? I would be trying to do it. Next we have Dockside Chef, a 1 black enchantment creature, human citizen with pay 1 and a black. Sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw a card. It's a 1/2. All right. Back, I was on Dockside Chef. It's a 1 black enchantment creature, human citizen. Pay 1 and a black, sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw a card. It's a 1/2. If it fills the enchantment requirement that you might want to be pulling off, second artifact or creature, draw a card for 2 isn't horrible, but unless you're able to get that steal ability going, that I'm not seeming to see much of, it's not that great in my opinion. It's just meh. Next we have Unforgiving One. It's a 3 mana, 2 generic, and a black creature spirit with menace. Whenever Unforgiving One attacks, return target creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Where X is the number of modified creatures you control, it's a 2/3. Okay, so I was kind of ragging on Modify at first. I was like, Modify don't seem like it's going to be like that exciting. But if you're getting something like this and you have 2, 3, 4, 5 modified creatures, and that's just anything that's been equipped or, has a counter on it, you're getting your creature back from the graveyard to the battlefield? Yes, Unforgiving One does seem pretty unforgiving. It does have menace. And you might be running in like a ninjutsu strap because the menace is going to definitely help with ninjutsu. It's really menace, flying, unblockable, all of that helps with ninjutsu. So yeah, Unforgiving One looks great. Next we have Dokuchi Silencer, 2 mana, 1 generic and a black. Creature, human ninja with ninjutsu, a generic and black. Good. Whenever Dokuchi Silencer deals combat damage to a player, you may discard a creature card. When you do, destroy target creature or planeswalker that player control. Oh my goodness. It's a 2/1. That's nice. That's nice because a lot of times there's abilities where say, oh, if that creature was dealt combat damage this turn and you play this other spell, blow it up. But when this deals combat damage to a player, you discard a creature card, you instantly blow up something. You don't have to sack it or nothing. I like that. I like that a lot. And if there's ways to get your creatures back from the yard, you're just getting value. Or you're just throwing away like a little garbage creature to blow up something even better. You bounce this back to your hand, throw away another one. Yes. Yes. And that's something I'm thinking about with ninjutsu. Like you can ninjutsu back creatures that give you good abilities with that already ninjutsu'd out. I think ninjutsu is gonna be the best thing ever. But I could be wrong. Grave Lighter. It's 2 generic and a black creature spirit with flying. Whenever it enters the battlefield, draw a card if a creature died this turn. Otherwise, each player sacrifices a creature. It's a 2/2. I like it. It's a 3-drop 2/2 with flying. That's serviceable in itself. Enters the battlefield. If a creature died this turn, you draw a card. And if a creature didn't die this turn, you sack off your little guy, make them sack off one of their guys. Okay. You add it to the board still. I like it. I like it a lot. Okiba Salvage, a 5-mana, 4 generic, and a black sorcery. Return target creature or vehicle card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then put 2 1/1 counters on that permanent if you control an artifact and an enchantment. I don't know. I've been hyping up kind of like the return from the graveyard cards. Like, don't we have one here? Like this says return all. That's amazing. And this is another return target permanent from your graveyard. Distribute 4 counters. Return creature from graveyard. Put 2 1/1 counters on that permanent. I think that might be what's slipping me up, because the white one you can distribute the 4 1/1 counters however you please, whereas this just puts it on the thing you just brought back. And unless the thing you just brought back has haste, it's just coming back as a blocker or something. I suppose it's still modified. Uh-oh. Forgot to be more efficient here. Yeah, I'm not feeling it like a lot, but if you are just trying to... Uh-oh. Did the camera go out? Did the whole stream go out? I can't. The whole stream didn't go out. Let's see here. See if I can fix this. Still frozen. Huh. Wonder why it's doing that. What's going on? The whole video camera doesn't want to come on. I mean, I can roll without it. It's just interesting that it just kind of went out on me. Okay. Well, I ain't gonna stress it. It looks like everything else is still working. The video just went out. The camera just went out. Oh well. Getting back to business. Next we have Enormous Energy Blade. It's a 2 generic and a black artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +4/+0. Whenever Enormous Energy Blade becomes attached to a creature, tap that creature it has equipped to. Not impressed. I'm not impressed with just the basic artifacts, and I'm not impressed with the vehicles. I think that hands down Reconfigure is outshining these things. Next, we have Malicious Malfunction. It's a 3 mana, 1 generic, 2 black sorcery. All creatures get -2 until end of turn. If a creature would die this turn, exile it instead. I see no reason not to run this. There's going to be a lot of things it hits, a lot of bears that I've been bringing up as I've been going over the set. So this is going to take care of all those bears with additional abilities. It's going to get around things like Selfless Samurai. And it's going to exile all these things as well, so they're not going to be able to recur them from the yard. I think Malicious Malfunction is excellent. Why not run it? Next, we have Assassin's Ink. 2 generic, 2 black instant. The spell costs 1 less to cast if you control an artifact and 1 less to cast if you control an enchantment. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. So for 2 mana, for potentially 2 mana, you're just blowing up whatever. Sign me up. Sign me up. You know, you're going to want your removal spells to set. It seems really bomby. Even things down to the potential bears have abilities. So blow things up. Blow them up. Next, we have Leech Gauntlet. 1 generic and a black artifact creature, equipment Leech. It has lifelink. Equipped creature has lifelink. Reconfigure for 4. It's a 2/2. It's great. It's great. Artifact creature. Yes, it's gonna get. It has lifelink. It is gonna give something else, maybe your flyer or your unblockable creature. Lifelink gonna really give you value going forward. Run this all day. Next, we have Life of Toshiro Umezawa. It's a 1 generic and a black saga. The first 2 chapters, choose 1. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. You gain 2 life. Okay, you do that every turn. I mean, you know, you do that for 2 turns. +2/2s to something, -1 to something, and you gain 2 life. Okay. It flips into Memory of Toshiro. Enchantment creature, human samurai. I keep saying flip. Flip is inaccurate. It's exiling and returning to the board. It's not staying on the board. It's the same permanent. So that's a correction. It's not flipping. It's exile and coming back. But you tap it, pay a life, add 1 black, spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery. Meh. That's very meh. Everything about this card is meh. I mean, maybe if you're going like a very aggressive deck, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Because the payoff doesn't seem that great at the end. Doesn't seem to be. The sagas seem to be like the one that makes the 1/1 creatures is great. I think the black one is pretty good. No, not the black one, the blue one that turned into like the control spell. Like the 3/3, Behold the Unspeakable. Yeah, I think this is way better. This is still on my list as one of the best sagas so far. Next we have, let's see, Nizumi Prowler, 1 generic and a black artifact creature rat ninja with ninjutsu, 1 generic and a black. When Nizumi Prowler enters the battlefield, target creature you control gains Death Touch and lifelink until the end of turn. It's a 3/1. Okay. Okay. It says target creature, so it can do it to itself. You ninjutsu it out. You give it lifelink and Death Touch. You're blowing up something they didn't want. No, it has to be unblocked. Well, I guess you give something else Death Touch and lifelink when it ETBs for sure. Something that actually got blocked, so you get the value of the Death Touch trigger. I see some versatility to this. You're gonna run it in your ninjutsu deck all day. We have Chain Flail Centipede, 2 generic and a black artifact creature, equipment insect. Whenever Chain Flail Centipede or equipped creature attacks, it gets +2/0 until end of turn with refigure 2. It's a 2/2. So it's a 3-drop that's potentially a 4/2 that can make other, that's infinite. I mean, like every turn it can reconfigure to something else, pump it up when it attacks. I like it. I'll probably run a lot of the reconfigure spells just to see how well they are or how good they are. It's hard to tell so early. You know, this is just initial thoughts. Next we have Clawing Torment. It's a 1 black enchantment aura, enchant artifact or creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets -1, -1, and can't block. Enchanted permanent has at the beginning of your upkeep, lose 1 life. I don't like that. I mean, -1 is, it's just kind of bad. I mean, it makes it so the other side of the board can't block. So if you need ways to really make it so they can't block in your ninjutsu deck, I guess have at it. If that's what you're really going for. But otherwise, just go for a removal spell. Just go to blow up the things. That's not going to deal with enough things to matter. Next, we have Debt to the Kami. 2 generic and a black instant. Choose 1. Target opponent exiles a creature they control. Oh, yeah, I love that. Instant speed. Target opponent exile an enchantment they control. Yes, I'll do this all day. I'll run at least 2-3 copies of Debt to the Kami. I mean, now this is a very token-oriented format or set, then it's going to be garbage. But if they have a bunch of creatures, you know, you're getting these out and you have other ways to destroy things, I think it'd be valuable. You prefer the target yourself type deal, but you get what you get. Next we have Cato's Pursuit. 2 generic and a black sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards. Ninjas and rogues you control gain menace until end of turn. I don't necessarily like that. I'm not going to instantly pick it up myself. I can see people running it against me and doing a great job with it, but I think I'll just make it look bad. Next we have Kami of Restless Shadows. 4 generic and a black spirit. When Kami of Restless Shadows enters the battlefield, choose 1. Return up to 1 target ninja or rogue creature from your graveyard to your hand. Put target creature from your graveyard on top of your library, and it's a 3/3 creature. I like this a lot because it's a creature that's giving you that graveyard interaction, right? You can get a ninja or rogue from the graveyard to your hand, or creature from your graveyard on top of your library. I think most times you're going to just get it from your graveyard to your hand, but maybe there's a specific creature that's not a ninja or rogue that you just want to replay. I like this a lot, and if I'm finding that I'm trying to run mono black, or I just need to run more creatures, or I need ways to get things back from the yard, I'm going to run Kami of Restless Shadows. Probably a couple copies. Next we have Kami of Terrible Secrets. 3 generic and a black creature spirit. When Kami of Terrible Secrets enters the battlefield, if you control an artifact and an enchantment, you draw a card and gain 1 life. It's 3/4. So they really want you to somehow have an artifact and an enchantment on the board. I guess that's something for me to keep note of. For artifact enchantment spells, if they're in the set, I'll keep an eye out, because if there's an artifact / enchantment, I think that's going to have a major priority, because look at all these cards they want you to have those things on the board. Next we have Reckoner Shakedown. 2 generic and a black sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. If you do, that player discards that card. If you don't, put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature or vehicle you control. Okay. I mean, it modifies. There's players that love looking at people's hand, right? I'm not necessarily one of them. Like, not for 3 mana, just to discard a card when on the next turn they're just going to play one of their other threats. Now, discarding their hand would be something, but that's not what this does. I'm not a big fan of Reckoner's Shakedown. Next, we have Reckoner's Bargain. 1 generic and a black instant. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. You gain life equal to the sacrifice permanent's mana value. Draw 2 cards. Okay, so this can fizzle removal if necessary. It can draw you cards. It's not the kind of interaction I necessarily want, but it might be the interaction that I have to play. It's kind of like the what is the 1-drop? 1-drop, sack your creature, draw a card, or sacrifice target creature, draw a card. This draws 2 for 2. Next we have Return to Action. 1 generic and a black instant. Until end of turn, target creature gets 1+0 and gains lifelink. And when this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Okay, so if you know you got a lot of bomby things, and that, hey, people are going to be blowing up my things, and there's not a lot of ways to exile, that's what you're going to have to look out for. If they exile your creature, this doesn't matter. But if they blow it up, it's going to gain lifelink, and then when it dies, it's going to come back to the battlefield. That's pretty dang nice. That's a really nice card. Are you going to run it all the time? I don't know. It's not blowing up anything. It's kind of like a neat little combat trick. And I know some players are going to blow me out with it. Pause. Next, we have Twisted Embrace. 2 generic, 2 black. Enchantment Aura. Enchant artifact or creature you control. When Twisted Embrace enters the battlefield, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +1/+1. This is awkward because it's really awkward because say you're playing this, right? And they just blow up your creature at instant speed, then you just got your removal spell fizzled, you know, and you lost your creature. Like, direct auras can be risky, so I don't know if I'm really liking Twisted Embrace. Next, we have Undercity Scrounger, 2 generic and a black, artifact creature, human rogue. It has tap, create a treasure token, activate only if a creature died this turn. It's a 1/4. I don't like that. Only if a creature died this turn that's not always going to be the case. It might just end up being a 3-drop 1/4, which kind of blows. Next, we have Virus Beetle, a 1 generic and a black artifact creature insect. When Virus Beetle enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. It's a 1/1. Okay, playable. You know, I would hope something like this had Death Touch, you know, so I could defend with it. The discard ability, I mean, they're just going to discard something that might not matter. But if there's enough ways to discard throughout in the format, maybe I'll be happy with this. It's an artifact creature, which could be relevant as well. Next, we have the Long Reach of Night, a 3 generic and a black. The first 2 chapters, each opponent sacrifices a creature unless they discard a card. Okay, maybe this card has something. This is really, is it really nice for 4 mana? Like I said, with the sacrifice ability, they can have tokens out on the board. It's really risky, especially when you get to that 3 and 4 mana cost. Let's see what it transforms into. Animus of Night's Reach, enchantment creature spirit with menace. Whenever Animus of Night's Reach attacks, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in defending player's graveyard. Okay, I mean, I would probably give this card a try, but I don't find it too exciting, and there's a chance I would rather be exiled in their graveyard too. I don't want them to have any options left. Next, we have Makotai Ambusher, 3 generic and a black. Artifact creature, rat ninja with ninjutsu, generic and a black. And it has lifelink. It's a 3/2. I think there's some value to that, especially having lifelink. Other than that, it's meh. The ninjutsu for 2 I think is pretty cool because this is a 4 mana card. So this is basically, it can end up being a 2 mana 3/2 lifelinker. That's not bad. Next, we have Okiba Reckoner Raid. It's a 1 mana saga. Pretty neat. First 2 chapters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Okay. And then it flips. What? Okay, for 1 mana, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Then it turns into a menace creature. Vehicles you control have menace. A menace 2/2. So a 1-drop 2/2 that's netted you 2 life, make them lose 2 life. It's a freaking enchantment creature, and it's just a saga in itself. I would run Okiba Reckoner Raid. I would run a few copies. Now the problem is, well, I would assume the problem is like it's not immediately doing anything to the board, but it is transforming into a pretty relevant creature. So I'm more than willing to give this a chance. and get blown out than to not give it a chance and not be able to see what it does. Next, we have Nizumi Blade Blesser, 2 generic and a black rat samurai creature. Nizumi Blade Blesser has Death Touch as long as you control an artifact. Nizumi Blade Blesser has Menace as long as you control an enchantment. It's a 3/2. That's fine. Next is You Are Already Dead. I think I read over this card with my buddy Hydro. Destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn. Draw a card for 1 mana. I love that. I love that. If I'm making a bunch of just garbage creatures, or maybe I know there's a creature they're definitely going to block with, yeah, I'm going to run You're Already Dead. Next, we have Rise Infiltrator, 1 generic and a black creature, human ninja with flying. Pay 3 and a black. Rise Infiltrator gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It's a 1/2. 1/2 black flyer that can pump. I like that. I like that a lot. I would probably run multiple copies of this. See, and I think there's something too, like these common spells that I'm seeing that I feel is really good. I'm probably gonna put those into like a little section for themselves, because those are gonna be what you see the most of, and what you're probably gonna be able to build around. Next, we have Lethal Exploit, a 2 mana, 1 generic and a black instant. Target creature gets -2 until end of turn. -2/-2. It gets an additional -1/-1 until end of turn for each modified creature you control as you cast this spell. Oh, Lethal Exploit seems amazing. Yes, especially at common level. This seems really good. And then if you have modified creatures, it gets better and better. It's negging things, so indestructible won't matter. I like that a lot. And last, we have Dokuchi Shadow Walker, 4 generic, 2 black creature, ogre, ninja, has ninjutsu, 3 generic and a black. It's a 5/5. So for 4 mana, you can bring out this hefty 5/5. I think that's really good too. Okay, black's looking good. Black's looking really solid. Blue-black ninjutsu looks like it's going to be, formidable. I'm going to have to kind of look through and see, but that's what I would be going for. And I think what we said, like black, red, what was that card? Here. Yeah, Hasugu, Devouring Chaos. That's just throwing fireballs at the opponent. I think that's really nice. And then what we had, something that's taking cards off the top of libraries. The beginning, Nashi, Moon Sage. Okay. I think black is looking really good. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens there. All right, so I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to try to push through. I'm going to try to push through the red cards tonight. Yeah. So I'm going to take a quick break, and then I will be right back.
Kototsu motion, imasugura. Ashibira no skate, defeated with cross blades. The beast in the cosplay, these demons are not safe. Mad now with no kill, the most skill I go kill. Mountain only till they mow hills. I headbutt your whole still. I'm so pig-headed, I kick you for no reason. I'm on no cocky. As long as this beast breathing.
You know that I gotta protect what's mine. Got the spirit of wind and my relatives by my side. I've been raw, got that grimoire. Know I make a match tragic, black magic. Keep you wheezing like an asthmatic. I keep this brief, if it's beef, you mince me. Trust me, you don't wanna see my brother with that fifth bleed. Listen up, power levels never get the buff. I'm not stopping, I'm not moving, and I'm never giving up. You know.
Redhead, rock star, no redemption, deaded with a bow, we call it Black Star. When it comes to felon yellow foes, he is a monster. Pulling shooting seconds with no questions like a cop car. Red and blue together, feel the murder intent. The BB gun, plastic plaster in the back of your head. Your screws loose, I'm cuckoo, but action's intense. Only school kid to school you, you're actually dead.
Everything I do is calculated, hide the fear, commandeer, and use my wits to compensate and make it clear if they appear. I've got lots of patience waiting, I'll be here to persevere. And don't you try to get up near and interfere with my career. I really hate to lose, that won't be me. I play for keeps, honestly fuck the rules. Maybe cheeks, talks cheap, see me as a tool. But I'm the key, best believe, get me a sugar cube. Need something sweet for victories, yeah.
This G-gun, make it be gone with a peon. These peons, they're too weak to the B-pons. Got them all down like a neat line. I got the steel in hand, metal with me, then you finish. Cause you're about to get the business like retailers during Christmas. I've been in the cup, why you think I'm packing the blade? I'll chop your top off like a barber when you catching the fade. Now all eyes on me, yeah, my demon form is dashing. You know I keep the heat on fire on you with the drag.
Your meat ain't a feast, it's a B-class waste. I'm elite, not a piece, I'm the whole damn cake. Just a cheat, no heat, no nothing about taste. Take a seat, here's a treat, and a lesson from an ace. Gotta leave people pleased, your dish is simply just a tease. You ain't doing it right if they ain't weak at the knees. Got every person lesson from the work of my tongue. You know, girls would bust if you just deliver for once.
I'm about to kill the village, and my brother won't be changing the story. Something shocking gonna fly from the arm. You would've thought that I screamed Chidori. Whole style, Katon. DLC, I'm fire, y'all. Sharingan or Renegade. See the way that I evolve, Kieran. Cancer medic ninja, stop your harm. Got more eyes on me than Danzo arm. Every time I black flame, like I'm Metarasu. I'm vengeance. Hard body, peep the Susanu.
White knight but no simp, highlight but no twitch, striking fire harder than a blacksmith, a fresh prince. Coming about it, you stay like a bag, treat him like cattle, I give him the black leg, strike like a gavel, be done like the flat rack, order take lies on the line, call it grand theft. Bending it like Beckham, not messy when I sustain cruise. I would never waste food, but bring the beef, then I'll waste you. Black suit for your funeral, the chef is in, so take a seat. Kicking fire, conquer, say, hot legs like KFC. Serve you, don't need reservation, the proof's in the pudding, so boss gotta be breaking like Ichini Sanji, a simple equation, a demon like Jambe, the best in the nation. I am the main course, so there ain't no mistaking, cause Nami and Robin be bringing the cake, and I'm smoking these dudes on the list that I'm waiting. I'm sick with the German, one step and you're quaking. You're messing with the crew, so we'll soon roll up. Gonna bring the bite like we're monsters. So what you gonna do when these dudes roll up? Never lose a fight, cause we're monsters. You're messing with the crew, so we'll soon roll up. Gonna bring the bite like we're monsters. So what you gonna do when these dudes roll up? Never lose a fight, cause we're monsters.
Bounty hunter with bounties surpassing millions. Y'all stay baroque, I'm stacking billions. Turning Crackling the reptilian, Tellurius to civilians. Gripping the metal in hand of the blades, will spin over your head like a ceiling fan. No devil fruit, I don't need it, I'm too godly. Forget the rules, if we meet you can face Sanji. Legendary sword was plucked from a freaking zombie. Green hair, iron tucked, they gon' think I'm broccoli. Onigiri, I wander freely, never conceding. Fight to fight, believe I never hunker for rest. Scarred and battered, bleeding like nothing happened, I mean it. So you don't wanna see me at 100%.
You're messing with the crew, so we'll soon roll up. Gonna bring the bite like we're monsters. So what you gonna do when these dudes roll up? Never lose a fight, cause we're monsters.
Kurohara's plot Atkins. Rocket to him, I'm a launch pad, hit him. I don't need to feel scared, man. I'm sure Shanks is a free man from Impel like a Shawshank prison. Gum and I blow like a twister. Can't cut the trio from the picture. Don't focus on snakes in the grass when Hancock is what in my boa constrictor. See the way they don't fight fair, leave. There's a pirate's life when you ride their seas. Whipped into shape using my bare feet. Now you're looking all blue like Nightmare Me. King is the title I strive to be. Ignoring the war with the institutes. Fingers, I'm giving you 5 apiece, and you can tell me how it is to choose. The friends across the pond for my brother for the gang. Gearing up to toss some balls, and I'm gunning with a bang. Got been trying to wreck my future. Your grandson has other plans. You should know you can't conduct me. I'm a rubber man.
You're messing with the crew, so we'll soon roll up. Gonna bring the bite like we're monsters. So what you gonna do when these dudes roll up? Never lose a fight, cause we're monsters. You're messing with the crew, so we'll soon roll up. Gonna bring the bite like we're monsters. So what you gonna do when these dudes roll up? Never lose a fight, cause we're monsters.
Ayo! Hello, Fantastics. It's Mr. Clintastic, and I am here with a set review for Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. This is a limited set review focusing only on draft and I guess sealed in a sense. These are my initial impressions of the cards. I'm not going to necessarily rate them, but I'm going to review the cards, kind of tell you how I feel about them, and then later on in the format, I'll give them like a grade or whatnot. So, I've already done white, blue, and black. Now I'm moving on to the red color. Let's begin. First, we have Explosive Singularity. It is a 10 mana, 8 generic, and 2 red sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may tap any number of untapped creatures you control. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature tapped this way. Explosive Singularity deals 10 damage to any target. So when I see mana cost that goes that high, I'm instantly put off. But I've had someone say they think, this can potentially be 5 mana, deal 10 damage to any target type spell, which I think is fine, but I feel like if this is stuck in my hand for too long, I'm going to lose before I can play it. Now, if you're making a bunch of tokens, like a ton of 1/1 tokens or whatnot, maybe. But even still, this is a sorcerer. This will finish the game. If you've been running like white, red, aggro strat or whatever, or even mono red aggro strat, and then you can't get through anymore with your chumps, you can finish the game with this. So that's all I'm gonna say. Play the card. The ceiling is too high not to play. Next we have Atsushi the Blazing Sky. 2 generic, 2 red legendary creature, dragon spirit, has trample and flying. When Atsushi the Blazing Sky dies, choose 1. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards or create 3 treasure tokens. It's a 4/4. Play that all day. I think all day is my rating for cards that I see that I just get hyped about. Like, I didn't get hyped about that last card. Although I know the potential it has, the ceiling's high, the ground is kind of like, okay, there's chances I'm not going to be able to play this. Atsushi, it's only 4 mana. Flying trample, that's value pretty much in any deck. And then when it dies, you can ramp or find cards to play. I love that. That's some versatility there. Next, we have Thundering Raiju. 2 generic, 2 red, creature spirit. Has haste. Whenever Thundering Raiju attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, modify. Then, Thundering Raiju deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of modified creatures you control other than Thundering Raiju. It's a 3/3. Sheesh, that's rude. That's rude. If I get this, I'm definitely gonna try to be as modified as possible, because that's another way to try to close out the game. And it has haste. Yeah. Next we have Invoke Calamity. 5 mana, 1 generic, 4 red instant. You may cast up to 2 instant or sorcery spells with total mana value 6 or less from your graveyard and or hand without paying their mana cost. If those spells would be put into your graveyard, exile them instead. Exile Invoke Calamity. Yeah, I've encountered players that, they'll just go red, blue, and just have a field day with something like this. Me, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of hoops I would have to jump through to really get the value off of it. Because in limited, I want to play creatures, and I want to freaking swing face. So, I don't know. Invoke Calamity is not high on my list, but I think it's better than freaking Invoke the Winds, personally. Which one? I think it's better than Invoke the Winds. I think the white and black invokes are still better. Next, we have March of Reckless Joy, X and a red. Instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may exile any number of red cards from your hand. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each card exiled this way. Exile the top X cards of your library. You may play up to 2 of those lands. You may play up to 2 of those cards until the end of your next turn. Personally, I would probably only exile for 2 every time. Just cast this at 3 every time, personally. Because you can only cast 2 spells from it. I don't want to lose out on my cards, but I think this is fine. It's not something I would first pick. Yeah, it's not something I would first pick. It's something I just be like, okay, cool. I need a filler spell. I need a way to find more spells to keep going. Other than that, I think it's just okay. Next, we have Fable of the Mirror Breaker, 2 generic and a red. Saga. Chapter 1, create a 2/2 red goblin shaman. Creature token with whenever this creature attacks, create a treasure token. I love that. Whenever this creature attacks, create a treasure token. There's a chance that token might get in for the rest of the game. And this will give you value every time. Recursive value. That's a great start. Chapter 2, you may discard up to 2 cards. If you do, draw that many cards. Another good ability. And it transforms into Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. Enchantment creature, goblin, shaman. Pay 1, tap, create a token that's a copy of another target non-legendary creature you control, except it has haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of next instant. Okay. I'm going to have to kind of keep an eye out on ETB triggers, because it only does it for creatures. I wish it did it sagas or something, but I guess that's okay. That card's fine. I would run it alone just for the first ability. Then the filtering is helpful. I like that too. Next we have Lizard Blades, 1 generic and a red artifact creature equipment lizard with double strike. Equipped creature has double strike and refigure for 2. It's a 1/1. Yes, run it. Run Lizard Blades. Run your reconfigure spells. They are looking amazing. They're looking amazing. Next we have Scrap Welder, 2 generic and a red creature, goblin artificer. You tap it, sacrifice an artifact with mana value X. Return target artifact card with mana value less than X from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste until end of turn. It's a 3/3. Yeah, 3/3 for 3 is what I'm seeing. Maybe somebody can get some value from it, but right now all I'm seeing is 3/3 for 3. And if that's what you're looking for, go for it. Next we have Goro, Disciple of Ryuse. 1 generic and a red, legendary creature, goblin, samurai. It has pay a red, creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. Oh, this is interesting. Pay 3 generic and 2 red, create a 5/5 red dragon spirit creature token with flying. Activate only if you control an attacking modified creature. So you can only, there's a specific time you can create this, but this still just 5/5s on a stick. Yes, please. I would like 5/5s on a stick. Delicious. I'm gonna get Goro all day, and if I see this, I'm gonna run red modified. Next, we have Ogre Head Helm, a generic and a red artifact creature equipment ogre. Equipped creature gets 2/2. Whenever Ogre Head Helm or equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. If you do, discard your hand, draw 3 cards. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Reconfigure for 3. It's a 2/2. Yes. Oh man, the reconfigure cards are just looking delicious. Next, we have Kumano faces Kakazan. It's a 1-drop red saga. Chapter 1. Kumano faces Kazan. Deals 1 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker they control. Okay. Chapter 2. When you cast your next creature spell this turn, that creature enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. Okay, so it modifies. And it transforms into Etching of Kumano. Has haste, enchantment creature, human shaman. If a creature dealt damage this turn by a source you control would die, exile it instead. It's a 2/2. So a 1-drop 2/2. That deals a little bit of damage. I think these 1-drop, I think there's a place for the 1-drop sagas. I do. Dragonspark Reactor, 1 generic and a red artifact. Whenever Dragonspark Reactor or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a charge counter on Dragonspark Reactor. You can pay for sacrifice Dragonspark Reactor. It deals damage equal to the number of charge counters on it to target player and that much damage to up to one target creature. That's a lot of value there, right? There's a lot of value there. So you'll want to be in like, and I mentioned earlier, like red blue artifacts. I think kind of wants a place. I saw an uncommon creature that kind of suggested that red blue artifacts might be a thing. And if you can get a couple of these and get artifact creatures and stuff, this is gonna be a closeout. Because it's just it's not an artifact creature though. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Because it's not really adding to the board. It taking time. And I would rather just be dropping creatures. So I don't know. You'd really have to be going something very specific, I feel, for Dragon Spark Reactor. Next we have Ghost Shintai of Ancient Wars, 2 generic and a red. Legendary enchantment creature Shrine has first strike. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 1. When you do, Ghost Shintai of Ancient Wars deals X damage to target player or planeswalker they control, where X is the number of shrines you control. If I'm able to do 5 color shrines in this format, I'm gonna do it. You know, I think it'd be fun to pull off, even if I only win 1 game out of my 7. Just getting it to go off once, it'd be fine. This is a first strike in 2/2, which I think is decent. Yeah, I would be willing to give it a try. I don't think it's just overly exciting, but yeah, I would give it a try. Next is Seismic Wave, 2 generic and a red instant. Deals 2 damage to any target and 1 damage to each non-artifact creature target opponent controls. I'm not sure if I'm seeing enough 1 toughness things for that to matter. I really don't know yet. I'm gonna have to really dig my heels and see if there's enough 1 toughness creatures for this to matter at all. Otherwise, it's just a 3 mana deal 2 damage to any target card and 1 damage to each non-artifact creature, and that could end up being a dud. Next, we have Rabbit Battery, 1 red artifact creature equipment Rabbit with haste. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has haste, and it reconfigures for 1 red, and it's a 1/1. Yes, the reconfigured creatures are just shining. Reconfigure looks better than. Let me know if I'm wrong. The reconfigure looks better than vehicles and just regular equipment all day. All day. They need to just basically slap reconfigure onto all the artifacts and onto all the vehicles or somehow. I don't know. Because they're clapping so far. Next we have Reinforced Ronin, a red creature, artifact creature, human samurai. It has haste. At the beginning of your end step, return Reinforced Ronin to its owner's hand. It has channel, pay a generic and a red, discard Reinforced Ronin, draw a card. It's a 2/2. I love this. I mean, normally I wouldn't like bouncing back to my hand, but the fact that it bounces back to the hand and it only costs 1, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. And it bounces back to the hand and you can use it for its channel ability when you're done using it. That's actually really good. Next we have Heiko Yamakaze the General. 3 generic and a red legendary creature, human samurai with trample. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, you may cast target artifact card from your graveyard this turn. It's a 3/3. So I'm not excited about this samurai or warrior attacking alone situation. It doesn't look very powerful to me. It looks very diluted with everything else. This is very meh in my eyes. I think trample's relevant, and if you're just gonna be trying to go like beat face and get all the tramplers and menace creatures in red black, or get all the tramplers in red green, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Next we have Tempered in Solitude, 1 generic and a red enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. This will be one of the cards that supports your Samurai Warrior strat, but once again, I just don't think Samurai Warriors are going to be strong. I don't. From what I'm seeing, I've already made it to red. I've gone over white, blue, and black pretty meticulously. And yeah, Warrior Samurai looks pretty underwhelming. Next, we have Twin Shot Sniper, 3 generic and a red artifact creature, Goblin Archer with Reach. When Twin Shot Sniper enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. Okay, has Channel, a generic and a red, discard Twin Shot Sniper. It deals 2 damage to any target. It's a 2/3. I think the versatility alone makes this pretty good. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to use the card. Is it overly exciting? No, but is it first pickable? Nah. But it's okay to go in your red build, and I don't know what red build you would want at the moment. Like, are you going to want to go red-black? For what? You know? Blue-black seems to be the only thing that has, like, okay, this is where you would really want synergies between, you know, with your rogue and ninjas and ninjutsu. Next, we have Uprising Renegade, 1 generic and a red creature samurai. Uprising Renegade gets +2/+0 for each other modified creature you control. It's a 1/3. That's underwhelming. Bronze Plate Boar, 2 generic and a red artifact creature, equipment boar with trample. Equipped creature gets +3/+2 and has trample. Has reconfigured 5 and it's a 3/2. Yes, this is amazing. This is freaking amazing. Like, the reconfigure cards look so good to me. Oh my goodness, they look so good. So Kenzan Smelter, 1 generic and a red creature, Goblin Artificer. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1 and sacrifice an artifact. If you do, create a 3/1 red construct artifact creature token with haste. It's a 2/2. What artifacts am I going to want to sacrifice to this over and over again? And how many artifacts am I going to actually be running to make this valuable? There seems to be too many hoops for this card, in my opinion. I will have to see how somebody plays it against me. Next, we have Flame Discharge X in a red instant. Flame Discharge deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. If you control a modified creature as you cast this spell, it deals X damage +2 damage instead. Okay, just a damage spell. Those don't. I'm never excited by those. I gotta sink so much mana into it. I can't throw it at face. That would have made it way better in my eyes. But if you just need more removal, I guess go ahead. Ambitious Assault, 2 generic and a red instant. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. If you control a modified creature, draw a card. So this is what I was saying. Like, if you're able to create those huge boards, like, and there's little guys, and you just need to finish out the game, and it really don't matter as long as you get 2 or 3 creatures in and pump for like 2 extra points each, you win. This is where you want to go. Next, we have Crackling Emergence, 1 generic and a red, enchantment aura, enchant land you control. Enchanted land is a 3/3 red spirit creature with haste. It's still a land. If enchanted land would be destroyed, instead sacrifice Crackling Emergence, and that land gains indestructible until end of turn. That's pretty cool. Not exciting, but pretty cool. I might give it a try. Experimental Synthesizer, 1 red artifact. When Experimental Synthesizer enters or leaves the battlefield, exile top card of your library. Until end of turn, you may play that card. Pay 2 and a red, sacrifice Experimental Synthesizer, create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with vigilance, activate only as a sorcery. Seems meh. Seems very meh. Explosive Entry, 1 generic and a red, sorcery, destroy up to 1 target artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Seem like I'm gonna have to rate these cards once I understand the scope of the artifacts. Then I think I will give a way better assessment of those type of abilities. Next, we have Gift of Wrath, 3 generic and a red, enchantment aura, enchant artifact or creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, its it gets +2/+2 and has Menace. When Gift of Wrath leaves the battlefield, create a 2/2 red creature spirit token with Menace. That seems okay. It just seems okay. It's not exciting. Ironhoof Boar. 5 generic and a red artifact creature boar with trample and haste. Okay. Channel. Pay a generic and a red, discard it. Target creature gets +3/+1, gains trample until end of turn. Yes. All day. I'll play Ironhoof Boar all day. I'll probably run multiple copies, like up to 4, really. Like, it's awesome. You get up to 6 mana, you're slamming these every turn, or you, even if you're beating their face in early game by channeling it, it's great. Kami's Flare, a generic and a red instant. Kami's Flare deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Kami's Flare also deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller if you control a modified creature. I think that's really good for 2 mana. I do. Kindled Fury, 1 red instant. Target creature gets +0/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. I think that's pretty garbage from what I'm seeing so far, when you have things like freaking Ironhoof Boar that gives freaking +3/+1 and trample. Garbage. Scrapyard Steelbreaker. 3 generic and a red artifact creature human warrior. Pay 1, sacrifice another artifact. Scrapyard Steelbreaker gets +2/+1 until end of turn. It's a 3/4. I don't know where they think I'm gonna get all these artifacts from to sacrifice. Where am I generating these things that I want to sacrifice? I don't know. Tawashi Songshaper, 1 generic and a red artifact creature human artificer. Whenever another artifact enters battlefield under your control, Tawashi Songshaper gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It's a 2/2. That's meh. That's not that great. I mean, I guess a 2/2 bear is okay, and the artwork's pretty cool, but nothing to be excited about. Voltage Surge, 1 red instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may sacrifice an artifact. Voltage Surge deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If this spell's additional cost was paid, Voltage Surge deals 4 damage instead. Okay, I'll play it. 1 mana, deal 2 damage. Okay. Aki Ronin, 1 generic and a red Goblin Samurai. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Just because I think samurai and warriors are weak, I probably won't even consider that. Kami of Industry, 4 generic and a red creature spirit. The artwork's dope. When Kami of Industry enters the battlefield, return target artifact with mana value 3 or less from a graveyard to the battlefield. That's nice. That's nice. That would make me want to... See, I told you, red-blue artifacts, there's a couple things that make you think there's something going on there. It gains haste, sacrifice it at the beginning of your next instant. So if that happens to be a, let's say, vehicle, right, it does nothing for you. Does reconfigure all the way. Peerless Samurai, 2 generic and a red creature human samurai with menace. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, the next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less to cast. It's a 2/3. I have literal 0 faith in the samurai and warriors. Aki Warpaint, a red enchantment aura. Enchant artifact or creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +2/+1. Okay. Meh. Unstoppable Ogre, 2 generic and a red artifact creature, Ogre Warrior. When Unstoppable Ogre enters the battlefield, target creature can't block this turn. It's a 4/1. I mean, I think the creature type's relevant. It doesn't have trample. It's a 4/1 that's blocked easily. I'm not too hyped about that. Aki Emberkeeper, 1 generic and a red enchantment creature, Goblin Warrior. Whenever a non-token modified creature you control dies, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token. It's a 2/1. The creature has to be modified. I think this is kind of meh. I mean, it's a 2/1, so you might run it just to have a, the upside might just be upside. If you just need an aggressive creature, fine. Because if you know you're going to be pumping and stuff, cool. But other than that, no, this isn't exciting. Simian Sling, a red artifact creature, equipment monkey. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever Simeon, Sling, or Equipped creature becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to the defending player. Reconfigures for 2. It's a 1/1. Even the common reconfigured creatures are just delicious. I love it. And last in red, we have the Shattered States Era. 4 generic in a red. Gain control of target creature until end turn. Untap it. It gains haste until end turn. That's chapter 1. Chapter 2, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. And then it exiles and comes back as Nameless Conqueror with trample and haste. So this was literally like the only red gain control card. And it's 5 mana. So you have a rare blue card, 4 blue and a generic to gain control forever. And then you have this 5 mana gain control card. It's kind of, they don't want you taking people's stuff clearly. I will, if I can get multiple copies of this, and I see that I get multiple copies of this, like, and I see that the format's going to allow me to get like 2-3 copies of this, maybe I try to run snatch and sack, you know, steal and sack. But other than that, I don't know. It just seems unexciting. But red, like overall, red was not as exciting. There was a lot of samurai warriors going on there, and I do think ninjas and ninjutsu and rogues, they're gonna kind of outclass them. But when it came to reconfigure, and I think this Goro card has a lot of potential. I think red is where it was at. Blue-red artifacts, can it be a thing? I don't think so. I think it's just going to be kind of weak. So we'll just have to see. So that's going to do it for tonight. Tomorrow I'm going to continue with the green colors, a review of the green colors, and then we're going to move into multicolored, move into artifacts, and then wrap up with the lands. Then hopefully after that, we'll be getting into some limited play with the new cards. So I hope everyone's excited for Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. As always, you guys are fantastic. My name is Mr. Clintastic. I'll see you guys next time.